of Week 3. And today, our matchup is Top Ramen MK.3 versus Phoenix Esports. Today's map selection will be Hanamura, Kings Row, Nepal, Gibraltar, and our tiebreaker map will be Lijiang Tower. And today, joining me and doing play-by-play is Guppy. How are you doing, Guppy?
I'm doing great, man. I'm really excited for the final day of this stuff. I mean, both of these teams at I don't know, kind of a in between place where really anything could happen. So this is going to be a great match to watch.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
yeah, this is going to be a really good one. Both teams need a win here, and let's take a tail of the tape shortly. And with these maps, there are interesting records here for Top Ramen and Phoenix. So we start off with Hanamura, and Top Ramen is 1-2 overall in Hanamura in all of their maps in stage 1, whereas Phoenix Esports has a winning record at 2-1. We go to Kings Row, where Top Ramen has the winning record here at 2-1, where Phoenix is only 1-2. It starts to get interesting when you get to Nepal, because Top Ramen to this date has not yet won a Nepal map. They are 0-2, whereas Phoenix has plenty of experience on Nepal at 2-1, and I think that might be a win there for Phoenix. But you get to Gibraltar, and it's a completely different story, whereas Top Ramen are 2-0 on Gibraltar, and Phoenix are 0-1. It looks like they've just been they've avoided Gibraltar with the way that the map draw works, and Top Ramen has a really, really good record there on Gibraltar. So this should be a very, very even match.
And something I want to point out here too is when we're looking at the map differential scores, when we're looking about these teams advancing into stage 1 playoffs, I mean, if you look down the list right here, they go neck and neck. They go back and forth with which maps they win off of. But I mean, realistically, if these guys want to advance into playoffs, they need 4-0s here. You need to be the dominant team here. And this could go, honestly, down to a map 5. So I'm really excited to see which team is going to be the dominant one overall, or if it's going to go kind of neck and neck the whole series.
Yeah, and I'm interested in seeing this too. Top Ramen coming off of a pretty bad loss here to Rinse and Shine, who was 0-4 going into Sunday. So they're definitely looking to rebound here against Phoenix Esports. And on the other hand, Phoenix has had a sort of change of fortune, and they've actually gone 2-0 in the last 2 games, and it's looking up for Phoenix. So they're actually on the way up, whereas Top Ramen has actually sort of been all over the place, winning here, losing there, and then losing on Sunday, which was very, very big. So it's going to be interesting to see where everybody's going to end up washing out when the stage is over. If you look at the group stage standings, it is Phoenix and Top Ramen tied at 2-3 in the Strix division. So each team here looking for a win, and it'll be very, very important for both teams. And you see that the only thing separating them is map differential at -2 for Phoenix Esports and -3 for Top Ramen. So very, very close for both teams.
So based off of what you were saying with, Phoenix Esports sort of rising from the ashes, not to be a little too corny about the whole Phoenix meme there, and with Top Ramen seemingly on kind of a rough streak, going into these matches with the maps that we saw up, even though it looked kind of back and forth like that, how are you feeling about these teams? What do you feel like could happen in this series? Who do you see coming out on top?
Well, it's going to be interesting because I've casted a lot of Top Ramen in the last couple of weeks, and it will be up to their DPS. You want to pay attention to Mr. Crit, and you want to pay attention to Zoe, because they're going to be doing a lot of work for Top Ramen, and they need to come up big here against Phoenix in order to actually carry the day for Top Ramen. For Phoenix Esports, I'm not very familiar here with the players, so I don't exactly really know who to look for, but it looks like Fenzito has actually been removed from the custom game. I think he needs to set up the I think his profile was not public, so people are coming in and out. But Top Ramen's tank, Fenzito, was playing the Reinhardt mostly for Top Ramen. He needs to actually keep improving the play that we saw from the last couple weeks, because Top Ramen was having some issues here with the main tank, but Fenzito's looked very, very good lately, supported by Vespercy and Pandu. So therefore, it's going to be interesting on what Top Ramen is going to do. Phoenix Unfortunately, I don't have that much information, so I'm not going to be able to tell you how they're going to do. I honestly think this is going to go 5 because I think both teams are very, very even. And taking a look at the map scores, both have something to play for, and it's going to be very, very tight.
Great. So I'm not familiar with either of these teams. Obviously, I've just kind of gotten into this whole tournament. I'm very interested in seeing how these teams progress based on stage one all the way into late in the later stages. But you said you've watched a lot of Top Ramen. What sort of comps are they sort of familiar with? What's their bread and butter? What should we be expecting?
So Top Ramen runs a very standard comp. They're not too fancy when it comes to what their loadouts are going to be. So you're going to see a lot of Rein Zarya coming up from them, and especially on the maps here, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see a lot of comboing. So there usually is Hanzo running, depending on what they want to do. Mr. Crit is their sort of coach slash flex DPS. So he's going to either be playing either a hit scan player, somebody like a MK.3 or a 76, but you'll see him up in the air with Vespercy a lot on the pharmacy. So that's what you see a lot with Top Ramen. They do have a sniper in Zoe, but they don't necessarily pull out the Widowmaker as much as I think they do. They do it really only in circumstances where they think they need to sort of fight an overwhelming sort of Pharah, or if they think they can get some good picks. So that's what you're probably going to see out of Top Ramen today. So if Phoenix Esports been watching my stream lately and been doing some of the research that I know a lot of the teams do, that's what they're probably going to see out of Top Ramen.
Yeah, definitely got to do your preparation work, especially in a match like this where map score means everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Top Ramen going into this. We kind of expect them to play a little bit more of a tanky combo. We've got Phoenix Esports. They're kind of an unknown. I'm really interested to see what they pick on this first map here.
So yeah, it will be Top Ramen here first out in red and Phoenix in blue. So it'll be interesting here. But as predicted, Fenzito here going with the Reinhardt. Going to start off with. I don't think that's going to be a joke pick at all. And Mr. Crit, again, going with the hit scan here, going with the MK.3 instead of going with the Pharah. So Pandu on the off tank will be your Zarya. And Vespercy, they're going here looking like with a Lucio Moira combo. So they're probably going to try to speed into the point here and actually just sort of fight right onto the point if they can get through the choke.
I like to call this the W key M1 comp. Looks like they're going to do, they're going to switch Mr. Crit over to the Diva. So they've got these big tank bodies. They got a lot of HP in here. They've got the Lucio for all that speed for the Reinhardt. He doesn't even have to hold the shield up. He can just swing around. Moira, just kind of, as the players like to say, just kind of peas on everyone if you want to talk about her main heal. And then you got Hanzo in the back line doing a lot of damage there. I mean, potentially this is a big play, the first attack for Hanamura. You kind of just, if you can get through that choke and keep running, you can make it straight to point. You can kind of set up there and hold it away from everybody else.
Yeah, and on Phoenix, it looks like they're running here with a Junkrat Mei, which to me says that they're going to try to isolate people coming through the gates here, and they're going to try to trap and turn these fights into 6v5, 6v4s, and then win it that way. So it'll be very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting what you said about this team with Phoenix, how they might have done a little bit of research on Ramen. It looks like that's kind of what they've done. Already with the pick on Phoenix Esports, they're looking for mud tips. They've got the Lucio pick. Right now, all they kind of have to do is chill to choke, see if Ramen wants to make a push inwards. It looks like they're just kind of wait, take their time. They're going to rebuild. They don't have their speed.
Yeah, and it looks like
Fenzito.
Yes,
oh, sorry.
Zoe is here just sort of hanging out in the back. You can see him, like, his ult percentage is already up to 62%, and Weber here gets a kill on Vespercy, so immediately
now both supports are just kind of staggering down. Oh, but Short Dude, I don't know about that play right there. He's going to charge in, he's going to feed a little bit, and it looks like two openings are coming up. Fenzito's going to take a kill off. It's going back and forth, honestly, right now. Zoe going to find a kill on Tassel Coffee. It looks like overall Phoenix is stabilizing a little bit with the kills that they're managing to get. Weber playing very aggressively, going to try to get some of this kill percentage with these charges, but Mr. Crit going to take out Alice in the end. Right now, it looks like there's only two on the side of Phoenix Esports, but no push yet from Ramen. We're going to see what they do here. Kegs are coming in strong. They're going to make an aggressive push. Phoenix starting to stabilize, but really nothing happening so far. Weber finds Mr. Crit in the back, but there's a tire, and King takes out both supports. Oh, but Zoe and Fenzito They're going in. They're going in. They're not stopping. It looks like the Brigitte on the point, and she's going to go down. Zoe popping off, finding so many shots. It looks like Ramen is going to make their play in here. Pastel finds the kill onto Pandu, but it's not going to matter. That is going to be .1 for Ramen.
Yeah, and the key to that right there was the fact that they were able to get picks on their initial attack. So what ended up happening was Phoenix Esports was able to sort of stabilize and stop Ramen from coming in. The problem is that they only had 2 people left on the point A defense. So Ramen realized that and really just sort of rushed in and overwhelmed them. And it didn't really matter how many times Phoenix would have to kill them. The spawn advantage was with top Ramen the entire time. So it was a matter of time before they were actually getting taken out.
Ramen really looking like they know that Phoenix Esports is trying to counter them, but they're doing their best. However, there's going to be picks going on. Alice is going to find Mudkips in the end. They're 2 down right now. Looks like Ramen is going to take a second to kind of chill out, regroup, just sitting by the point. Zoe extremely low right now, and he's been naded. He can't get healed up just yet. It's amazing that he got out alive with that. But you see 4 ults on the side of Ramen with that Zarya ult so close to being built up. However, on the side of Phoenix, it's only going to be the Shatter. Grab almost built up on that side as well. This really could be the time to push, but Alice is going to find a kill on Mudkip. Vesper, she's going to pick him up. Oh, and the Shatter comes in, not going to find anything. Wow. And Short Dude's going right in. He's nanoed up. He's going crazy. He's getting kills off. He's going all the way to the spawn, and you just see Ramen just totally back up. They do manage to get the kill on Short Dude, but they're going to take their time to regroup. They know that the spawn advantage is there for Phoenix Esports, and they're going to take a second to kind of rewind.
Yeah,
Zoe does get a nice pick on Pastel, though.
He does, and I think they were looking to draw out some ults here from Phoenix initially to make sure that they actually had a real advantage going in. But now they're going to go ahead and charge in here, and I think they're going to try to play. And here come all the ults here for top Ramen.
Oh, and the tire is there, taking out Pandu early. Oh, but the counter dragon comes in. Then Zito and Critter taking shots, and Zoe gets one with the dragon. Ooh, the nade comes through, though, and takes out Mudkip. Overall, though, it's all Ramen in the kill feed, but Mr. Crit coming out. Oh, and it's big. We're just waiting on the respawns right now, though. Overall, Phoenix has a big one, but it's a Shatter! Oh, and it's a counter Shatter! Oh, my goodness. Phoenix Esports stabilizing out here. It looks like they're going to take it overall. That spawn advantage is just so huge. When you're right there on 2CP, especially in Hanamura, you can just kind of walk out the door and do whatever you want. So great economy push from Ramen, but overall, Phoenix was just kind of able to stabilize based on their staggering. So really well played by them, really smart plays, not getting overly aggressive, and they're just sort of, it seems like counter-playing with the ults. So
yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, they're really good, but they're now, both teams are dry here, so you're going to be looking here at a dry push from top Ramen. But the key to that previous attack was charging in. Short Dude was able to catch Vesper C on the initial charge out, which basically got rid of all the healing potential that top Ramen had, but now they're forced to sort of come on in and now attack, but Short Dude goes down. Losing their main tank early is going to be big here as they sort of press their attack here on the top side.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of trades. Ramen's playing very aggressive. They're going in kind of a little too deep based on what they have, so I'm not totally sure about that play. They might be trying to bait out whatever ults they think that Phoenix has. They might be trying to build some ults for themselves, but I don't think that push was meant to really do much on point. They've already got 2 ticks, and they're 2.5 in terms of if they lose right now, that's what Phoenix will have to take on their attack. So I think they're just trying to take these last 3 minutes and play it smart. Zoe finds a pick on Alice. That's going to be big. Let's see if they can go in on that and capitalize on any positions here.
But Zoe by himself, so he's got to make sure he doesn't die, but it looks like Pastel Coffee actually took out Mr. Crit, who ends up having to burn the res here from Vesper C, but Zoe goes down, so that's big.
And Zoe in the 1v1 with the King. He's going to lose that fight to a Tracer, and wow! Phoenix Esports just cleans up. That's going to be an easy team kill for them. I think Ramen's going to have to go back to the drawing board, but they are building ultimates. They're not spending anything on that. It looks like Mudkips did use his trance recently in that fight, but it doesn't look like anything was much brought out of it. However, if you look on the side of Phoenix Esports, they use their Nano Boost, they use the Tracer Bomb, they use the Genji Blade. Right now, Brigitte is using her Armor Ultimate, so they're all going to be fully armored for this fight. I don't know how this one is going to look, honestly. It really comes down to Zoe and Mr. Crit being able to pop off, trying to get some early picks here. And, you know, we have to see them kind of chip away at this armor.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because they have to sort of figure out whether or not they can get a kill or whether or not they want to go dry one more time and then go for an all-in push. But it looks like they get the short dude, and down goes their main tank, but they lose Vespercy in the process. So I think they're in between two minds here. They don't know whether or not they should commit or not. No ult's going to be blown by anybody, as Pandu's not there yet. He's only at 77%. And I think down goes Mr. Crit, and I think they're going to wait here for a final push and let Pandu sort of build up his graviton.
They did lose Short Dude and they did lose Alice, but if you saw what happened there, they let the Genji and the Tracer kind of go in the back line, and they sort of just like forced all of Ramen into one spot. They basically made a little ramen soup and they stirred it around with their fork. They were all wrapped into that top right corner there, and they just kind of pressed in individually, and they were able to just get picks, force a lot of pressure. A really nice play, honestly, for Phoenix Esports. They really know their opponent, it seems like. Yeah. But Ramen's making their push in here. This could be their second to last fight. Zoa's going to find a pick on Short Dude. Nobody down on Ramen yet. The big dragon's coming in, not going to find anybody, but could be a zoning ult. Pandu takes down Pascal. The Shatter comes in. They're going to get Tracer. Shield goes up. Nothing going to be found off the demon, or off the off of the Diva bomb of Phoenix Esports. It's all red in the kill feed as Ramen's going to take care of it. Master Crit going to take one, look almost like a little flashy kill on Weber as he was out of mech. The Ana on Pascal Coffee actually going to take down the Mercy King. Alice popping back. It looks like Phoenix Esports is coming to play. Alice really popping off here, getting a kill on Mudkip, and then a dash through Fenzito. Short Dude gets a kill with the Shatter on Zoe, and this might be a stabilization from Phoenix Esports. They might have taken what should have been an easy fight and pulled it around, and they do! And that is going to be completion at 81.7% for top Ramen. I mean, Phoenix, all they have to do is cap this second point, and not even fully, and they win this map.
Yeah, focus fire, focus fire, focus fire. That has been a problem for Top Ramen in the last few maps that I've seen. So when they came in, they were earth shattered and they pulled out a graviton, but what they did end up getting the advantage as they were coming into point, but it seemed like their players were just not focusing on the same targets. I don't know if it's a matter of shot calling or if it's the players are actually just targeting different players, but what ended up happening is that everybody was sort of focused on their own sort of target, which why you saw the sort of kill feed go red there for a second for Top Ramen. But in the end there, it sort of got to them because as people were sort of running away, the charges came in. They did get lucky. Phoenix Esports again, Short Dude coming out with a big charge, taking out Vespercy, getting caught on the cross charge as he was coming out of spawn. So as they started to lose one or two players here, Top Ramen was just not able to sort of focus and adjust and get the remaining sort of 19% that they needed. So now they have a target goal, Phoenix Esports. It's 81.7%, and it looks like Weber here coming out on the Bastion, but I don't know if this is a real pick.
I'm hoping it is. Honestly, I would hope to see some. I mean, we've got the Bastion out, we've got the Torbjorn out, we've got the Junkrat and the Tracer. I'm gonna guess at least one of these is a troll pick. Weber looks so good last round on the off tank. I doubt that he's gonna be playing Bastion, though. There are some people in my rankings that would argue with me that Bastion is a tank. I'm gonna go ahead and disagree on that, but agree to disagree. That's fine. But yeah, if you're Phoenix Esports right now, you've got to be feeling good about what you have to do for this match. So, you know, this is really anybody's map right here, and they're feeling confident. So we'll see how they go in with their first attack.
Yeah, they're running a Tracer here with Alice, so I'm wondering if Alice is going to try to get into the back lines here and try to sort of harass and maybe try to sort of change the focus of the front door here to try to get around. And we see her flanking around. Mr. Crit takes out the King. And so Alice on this really long flank here, so it'll be interesting here, but Short Dude goes down.
And it's also really interesting that Ramen wants to play Pharah on defense. And that's not something you see conventionally a lot of the time, but also something you don't see conventionally is the Ana on offense on Hanamura. But Pastel Coffee looked so strong on the Ana last map on defense. Maybe he's just trying to, you know, see what he can do on this. Maybe they don't feel super confident having him on something like Lucio or Zenyatta, where Ereshkigal is going to play the Mercy for this. So they've got a lot of healing on the side of Phoenix Esports. I'm really interested to see if Pastel Coffee is going to get some of those nice shots we've seen him hit on Mr. Crit, be that hit scan hero that this team needs to sort of take out that damage from above. But Weber's going to get the opening kill on Fenzito. This could be a big move on them opening up, but Mudkip's going to counter on the King. It looks like this is not stopping Phoenix Esports, though. They're willing to make a move. They've rezzed the King. Alice has found Mr. Crit. Right now, they're up one. SSC gonna res up the fire. They're equal right now.
And it looks like Short Dude here with the was nano boosted here as they come onto the point. I think it's going to be a matter of time here before Phoenix Esports actually just take this point. Yeah, Penzito's trying to come back here, but I think this point is done. Mr. Crit here on the point, trying to stall out in the Pharah. I'm not really sure what he's trying to do, but he's got 2 kills, and they're coming back. Ooh, big Earth Shatter here. Penzito's going to get charged and killed, but Short Dude took himself out of position. And he's now sort of had to fight right back on point. They do have the spawn advantage here, though, so Short Dude just has to sort of stay alive as they're sort of building a point.
Short Dude does not want to give up this point. He is fighting for his life on this one. But the kill feed is still all red. Ramen is really trying to hold on. The King gets the tire on Penzito. Pastel Coffee does take down the Pharah like I was hoping he would. He's been looking so strong. Also takes down Zoe on the Junkrat, who's been getting some pretty nice kills with the traps and with the mines. We're going to see the Transcendence come out. And right now, the point is pretty open, but it's looking all blue for Phoenix Esports. They're going to go ahead and pop off and take Objective A and move into their next point.
I don't know about that last Transcendence. If I'm Mudkips, I think he thought that maybe Pandu could have gotten like a Graviton and get it up there close, but I would have probably saved it here for the defense because it looks like Phoenix Esports is going to go ahead and just charge on in and see what they can get. They knew a lot of ults were blown, but Mr. Crit's going to end that real quick. My goodness!
Mr. Crit with the triple! He's going to take out the support, the tank, the big old Junkrat, and that's going to be the end of a push there for Phoenix Esports. And like you were saying with the Transcendence, I think Mudkip was a little bit hopeful there, but the thing is, you've got Pastel Coffee on Phoenix Esports. He's a sick Ana. He's got the nades. He's been hitting off those damage debuffs. I mean, you're not going to get any healing through a Transcendence if you've got the purple nade on you, you know what I mean? And Pastel has been hitting those consistently. So, a little bit overzealous. Zoe going to take down Pastel early, though. This fight could be over, but Ereshkigal going to pick him up. It's anybody's pick. Fenzita with a nice fire strike on Weber, who is already probably pretty low. This Pharah really just sitting up above, poking at everybody. The damage boost most of the time from the Mercy.
It's an interesting
See Alice kind of setting up down there at the bottom, hopefully looking for something.
Yeah, it's an interesting defense they've got set up here. So you've got Mr. Crit firing rockets at random sort of openings, and then Zoe covering 2 openings on the top. So therefore, he's got the bottom there, but they take him out. So that's going to be big here, but they res him right back. So, but you'll see that Mr. Crit has got Zoe's back anytime that he gets in trouble. And it looks like the rest of Phoenix Esports here a little bit scattered to the wind. As a tire comes in and takes out Alice, they're trying to build up percentage points here, but they know that it's pretty much over. And Weber here is just probably trying to go to build up energy, try to sort of do anything that he can, but he's sort of trapped here down with Pastel Coffee at the bottom. They just want to sort of stay alive. They can't die in order for their push here to keep sort of going when the rest of their spawns come back.
And the great thing about this Ramen comp is they've got so much spam. They've got the Pharah to just sit in the sky, really uncontested right now, except for the form of like Pastel and maybe sometimes Alice. They've got Zoe on the Junkrat. You kind of just lob some mines in, and then eventually you get a tire. You know what I mean? If you played solo queue comp, you know what I'm talking about. And even the Zenyatta, you got the orbs that come in, but Short Dude's gonna be nano boosted. Oh my God, Mr. Crit with the 4. He does get slept, but he takes up almost the entire team. Ereshkigal gonna pick up Weber, but I really don't know if that was a necessary res right there. It looks like all of Ramen is gonna get really aggressive, push in, try to get some of these kills back, try to take their revenge on Weber, give him a little second death reunion there. We'll see if they can get away with it. Alice, this one a nice stick on Vespercy, but I don't really know if it's gonna turn this fight around. It looks pretty decided. Though all of Phoenix Esports is starting to respawn, so who knows? This could be the opportunity they've been looking for.
They were looking for an opening, and I think when they saw Vespercy go down, that was the opening that they needed. And they thought that they could sort of move in on. Big tire there by the King. Oh, goodness.
The King finding some really juicy tires this entire match. He's going to take out both tanks. Pastel is going to take out Mr. Crit. This could actually be the opening that they've been looking for. They played patiently. They waited for it. Benzito going to find a huge shatter, but he gets slept. He can't capitalize on it. Oh! He's going to get charged away. Benzito just sort of fighting on the point, trying to hold his own. Oh, he's going to be taken down in the end by Feather. But Zoe with the counter tire. He's going to take down the Junkrat and the Zarya. Now it's back and forth. The spawns are coming in. Alice takes down Vespercy, but Mr. Crit takes down Ereshkigal. Both Mercies are down. The nano boosted Reinhardt is in. He's going to charge. He's going to get a huge pin on Pandu. But Mudkip's going to take out the Ana, and Benzito going to take down Short Dude. It looks all red in the kill feed. Ramen manages to stabilize. No ticks yet at all. This is crazy.
Yeah, Phoenix Esports is in trouble though. They blew all of their ults on that push. They full committed, and now nobody has ults here. But Benzito coming up with an Earth Shatter. That's going to be enough to sort of stall them here. Nobody really close except for the short dude on Phoenix Esports with any ults whatsoever. With 119 here left on the clock, so Phoenix here have got to get this push right. They need 81.8%, so they don't even need all of it. But it's going to be hard going here with no ults to sort of go in.
And Mr. Crit is getting insane poke damage. He's already got his ult back up. Benzito already with the huge shatter. Mr. Crit gonna take out 2. Doesn't even need an ult. Benzito just kind of... Oh, no, sorry. That was Short Dude who threw his ult out there. Didn't get anything really with the shatter. Pandu gonna take out Weber, but Short Dude does get a charge on Mudkip. I don't know how useful it's gonna be because it's all red in the kill feed as Top Ramen asserts dominance there. They've really only got one fight left here. And like you said, they've got Benzito with the ult. They've got Mr. Crit with the ult. We got Zoe with the ult. We got Vesperseal with the ult. So they've got the Shatter. They've got the Barrage. They've got the Tire. They've got the Mercy ult. They've almost got the Zarya ult. It should be... No! Yes, they've got the grab. So, I mean, Ramen has 5 ults here. Realistically, they don't lose this fight. I mean, Phoenix would have to pull off something short of a miracle to take this point away from them and get 2.5 picks within the next 15 seconds.
Yeah, you're gonna
the
look
boost does
for
come in though.
You're gonna look for a combo here. I think that's gonna be that's what's going to win it here for. Oh, it looks like Zozo takes out the king with help from Mr. Crit. It's not going to happen though because all the kills are going the way of Top Ramen. What do you see?
Oh my gosh. I mean, just the early pickoff with Zoe to, on the opposing far. I mean, it's a little bit BM at that point. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm just gonna get a quick little kill here on Allison. Wow. I mean, what a great defense by Top Ramen. I mean, there are so many fights that they potentially should have lost where it looked like Phoenix Esports was going to. Again, I'm gonna use the corny comp or the corny cliche, but rise from the ashes. I mean, there were some great plays coming out of Phoenix Esports, like this one right here from Short Dude. I mean, look at this huge shatter, but they still can't capitalize on some of the stuff. And obviously, this was on their defense, but they really couldn't make it happen on offense. You got to give it up. I don't think it was the fact that they lost on offense. It was the fact that Top Ramen really won on defense. That's where you really started to see them shine on this. And you see it on the cards right now with Zoe on the Junkrat and Mr. Crit on the Pharah. I mean, the spam comp just looks so impressive. And it's so hard to beat unless you've got something that's designed to sort of counter it.
Yeah, and it seemed like Phoenix Esports just sort of ran out of ideas there. So it was very problematic for them trying to get through because they were losing people left and right on their assault here. So looks like we're going to go into some switches. We're going to be right back. Top Ramen take the first map. They take Hanamura 2-1. We're going to look for some switches here that are probably going to come in from Phoenix Esports and Top Ramen. So we'll be right back with you. 1-0 to Top Ramen right now, and once we will be back, it will be King's Row. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Could always use more heroes.
right, folks, we're going to be heading into King's Row here in a second. It looks like both teams here are getting ready to go. So, Guppy, what do you think of King's Row?
I mean, if I'm being personal about it, this is one of my favorite maps to watch be played. Especially, honestly, in this meta. I really love the triple tank comps coming out. I love just having the Rhine Zarya back. It wasn't as prevalent during the dive meta, which we kind of had for like 3 or 4 seasons, to be honest. I'm a little bit excited for a little bit of a change. I know a couple of contenders teams have still tried to run dive on this, and they've actually done it to success. But I'm a big fan of the, you get even the quad tank out with some fat healing, and it's going to be nice. I mean, it's such a. Is it vertical? No, vertical. Horizontal. What's the one where it goes straight? You know what I'm talking about?
That's
Not height. I'm talking about straight.
It's horizontal.
Horizontal. That's okay. I'm a caster. I don't need to go to school. This is fine. Yeah, you know what I mean? Horizontal, where it's such a flat map. It's so dynamic. There's a lot of space to really push and create space. I mean, the Rhine shield and the Rhine shatters are about the size of all the streets on this map. So, I mean, it's really important, I feel like, to have the Reinhardt. I'm not talking personally as a Reinhardt main, but I might be a little biased. We are going to see this comp looking like coming out from Phoenix, where you've got the Rhine Zarya again, Benzito and Pandu looking so strong on that duo. Zoe actually going to be playing the Widow, which I'm really excited to see. Mr. Crit going to be switching over to the Junkrat, which Zoe was previously playing on, so that's an interesting switch. Mudkip and Vesper-C going to be playing some comfort heroes. Mercy and Zen so crucial during this patch, where that double damage boost can kind of come in handy. You've got Mercy, one of the strongest healers in the game, honestly, with the fact that she can switch from healing to damage in just half a second. Mudkip going to be supplying that extra discord and that extra heal. But the interesting comp coming out from Phoenix, sorry, that was Top Ramen. The interesting comp coming out from Phoenix, we've got Pastel and the Ana again, but other than that, we've got kind of a really tanky comp. So this is going to be an interesting one coming out.
Yeah, so you're going to see a Widow duel here between Draco Bolt and Zoe, which I'm really, really interested in seeing here too. So Zoe, their sort of sniper main here, is going to be trying to look for a pick, and I think they see each other, and there it is! There's the first one! Zoe gets the initial kill here, so Widow down on the side of Phoenix Esports.
Zoe gets a really clean headshot there. That's a great pick. Mr. Crit also going to follow up on the Pastel Coffee. You kind of got to call this one as it is, but it doesn't look like Top Ramen wants to back up. They're actually charging it even farther. Mr. Crit going to go nuts. And the kills are coming out from the side of Top Ramen. Top Ramen going to take control of this first point. Phoenix really has no point. After you lose that initial Widow battle, you just kind of got to back up. Draco does take a little bit of revenge against Vesper-C, but Zoe going to say, sit down, stop talking. I'm going to take out both your snipers, and we're going to continue this push. Double the headshot, double the fun. Top Ramen going to keep moving forward. The payload comes out. They're pushing all the way up. They're looking for the king. The king on the Reinhardt is going to be taken down by Benzito, looking like the dominant Rhine, swinging the hammer away. He's going to back up a little bit now. Short dude running in with the Genji. I'm not sure what the play there was. He uses dash and his reflect. He is going to manage to get out safely. Benzito kind of upbeat. He's just going to back off a little. They've got a little bit of card space. It looks like Phoenix still has a little bit of time to regroup. And Top Ramen still has a little bit of time to push the card.
Yeah, they're trying to make some space for themselves here, which is what Top Ramen's been sort of working on the last couple of weeks, and it's won them a couple of matches. And you see Zoe sort of pick it up, but looks like here that he was just trying to sort of get that charge to get dragged out. And all the kills now going for Top Ramen. Look at this, they're just owning them through. Big shatter!
Mr. Crit manages to kill the king in his shatter. And then Benzito says, you know what? I can shatter better than that guy. Gets a big old shatter, charges right on the way through. I mean, at that point, honestly, it's kind of a BM shatter. It's just asserting dominance at that point, saying, hey, I got the bigger ... hammer. And he's going straight in. Draco Bolt finally manages to win the duo against Zoe, but Zoe going to get rezzed up, and Mr. Crit going to take out Short Dude. It looks like the push is still going strong for Top Ramen. They are going to tap second point. Draco gets Zoe again. Okay, so the Widow battles are getting a little more even. Zoe was looking so dominant in those first 3 shots, but now Draco says, you know what, enough is enough. I got to assert my dominance. He's going to get some kills. No res this time. It's kind of neck and neck right now. They're playing at the corner. Benzito and the King just swinging away, but Mr. Crit manages to back it up a little bit. Zoe going to take out Short Dude, but Draco takes out Mudkip. Draco just popping off from the top. Really uncontested. He takes out 3! And Weber manages to take out Benzito. Oh, but Zoe gets Draco Ball at the end. Right now, it's only the Junkrat and the Widow. Zebra could just play really aggressive here with some heals, but he gets killed! Ereshkigal isn't there, and Ereshkigal on the point gets to back up a little bit. It looks like the two DPS players are going to manage to push it for top Ramen while their teammates respawn. That was honestly a crazy play.
That was a crazy play, and they just caught Weber out of position there, so it just sort of, now look at all the position they've had to give up because of it, and they get caught in a graviton here, and a charge comes in, and Short Dude takes out the Genji, doesn't get out anybody else as everybody was sort of saved, but they do get one, and Fenzito's trying to go ham as much as he can. He does catch the king there on the charge, and now they're sort of trading off, and now there's a fight going on, and the Genji ult comes out, and immediately Mudkip's butts the Transcendence, so that actually just sort of saves them all, but there's nobody but Red on the point here. Ereshkigal is on the point, but he's all by himself. Oh no, here comes the full stall here, because I see a May here from Draco Ball.
And Short Dude really tried to keep it alive. The blue's coming out, but the red is just dominating right now. Weber and Draco Ball are going to find something. Short Dude takes out Fenzito. There is a Shatter coming out. Oh, and it looks like Phoenix is actually going to manage to stabilize mere meters away from the end of the map. And what was crazy about that I saw is, I mean, the King, you know, he was kind of stalling on point, but Short Dude came out and he had the two there with the blade, and he's just trying to make the most of his team. And what I saw happen with the tire that came out of Mr. Crit, he launched it into the grab, but it looked like the King kind of swung his hammer around at the right time, and I don't know who was playing the Zarya because they've all switched off at this point, but the Zarya managed to bubble the two teammates that needed it most, and they didn't take any damage from that, but it still ended up being a fight that seemed to be in Top Ramen's favor. But Top Ramen charging back in, they do take out Passed Out rezzed up, but Fenzito takes out his counterpart, Zoe takes out Ereshkigal, and Mr. Crit takes out Short Dude. I mean, right now, this is looking like Top Ramen wins this. Fenzito just swinging away like an animal. You see, oh my god, and Draco Ball was in the back, but he can't get on the cart. And that's going to be Top Ramen taking a cap, I mean, fairly easily there. They had a couple good fights, but, I mean, when you look at the time bank remaining, they've still got 3 minutes left. This is going to be a really hard push for Phoenix.
Yeah, that was a very, very fast push for Phoenix. For Top Ramen, but it was all based on aggression. They did not let up on Phoenix Esports at all during that entire sort of attack. They just were in their face the entire time, and I mean, like, I don't know if you saw it, but to me it seemed like Phoenix just didn't have a chance to sort of catch their breath at any point. It seemed like you were actually going to be facing Fenzito at all times. He was going to be in your face if you were on the front line of Phoenix swing away with that giant hammer, and you had to be ready for it because he was going to have his Earth Shatter up at any time, and you just had to watch out because because they just wouldn't let up, and I think that's what really got Phoenix at the end there. So now Phoenix on offense here has got to show that sort of same type of aggression that Top Ramen showed, and Draco Bolt here has to come huge because he was getting he was getting the better of Zoe there towards the end, but at the beginning Draco Bolt did not get any picks at all and was picked off early, so he's got to show off his Widow skills here now to help sort of Phoenix push through point A and point B.
Yeah, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know if I saw Fenzito hold his shield up a single time in that entire game. I mean, realistically, he's just walking in. He's just like, oh, just press W and hold my M1 key. And, I mean, he did it. He created so much space. He gave his DPS so much opportunities. I mean, Zoe was popping off on the Widowmaker. It didn't seem like he needed that much space in general, but Fenzito was providing it no matter what. So I'm really excited to see how Phoenix can come in and try to take this attack back and bring that time in their favor to try to get the same time bank.
Yeah, and you and me both play Reinhardt, but you gotta love it when all you have to do is sort of swing away and be aggressive. So now the push starts here, and it looks like the aggressiveness, like we said, from Phoenix is coming out here as they immediately go onto the point here. It's basically just devolved into a brawl as Mr. Crit takes out Ereshkigal's mech, and now they're just sort of fighting here on the point, and they're being super aggressive. Short Dude takes out Vespercy, and I think this might be a quick take.
And the one thing I really like about Phoenix Esports that I've noticed so far is, I mean, specifically on the King, I've seen him play a tank, a DPS, and now a support. in the past, what has it been, like 30, 40 minutes?
Yeah.
Like, this guy is so flexible. Their whole team is so flexible. They're all switching around roles. I mean, Pastel's consistent with the Ana. He's such a good Ana. I mean, when you're that good of an Ana, there's really no need to switch. But now Draco Bolt on the Widow, he manages to win that 1v1 early against Zoe, which kind of opened up the point for them. So they're kind of maneuvering around based on their strengths, which has been so good for them so far. It's the solo shatter on a nanoed short dude, and he's going to go down early. I think they thought he might have had Blade, and that's why they invested those resources on him. Maybe that's what they were hoping to get out. Maybe they were hoping for a solo shatter. Oh, and it's going to be a big shatter for Weber, but there's nobody to follow it up, and it looks like Top Ramen is going to stabilize out of this fight. There are 2 ticks on the board for Phoenix, so not all is lost. 2:30. They've only had, you know, a minute and 30 off the board so far, and they've got their Zen ultimate up. They've almost got the Blade up. Weber going to be switching off of Reinhardt to the Winston. They might be going for a more divey comp. Zoe manages to pick off his counterpart, and Mudkips takes out Passive Coffee. Short dude does get Zoe in the end, though. Let's see if that gets rezzed up. He's not camping the body. It does look like Vesper C is kind of walking all the way around to get this res up. But Draco Ball takes out Vesper C. You can't get that res off. Nice try. Short dude going in for the blade. Looking for it. Manages to get Mr. Crit, but Benzito charges him. What a sick charge. Weber trying to create so much space with this Winston. He's just kind of looking around with that Tesla gun. King taking out Pandu. Weber taking out Mudkip. There is a big shatter, but there's no follow-up. It does look like Phoenix is going to be able to take this unless Zoe can keep popping up. No! Too little, too late. Sorry, my friend.
Yeah, they're gonna have to set up here though in the back. There were some last kills. They only really needed a tick. If I'm Phoenix here, I would be pressing my advantage a little bit more than they are, but it looks like they're going to be content by just sort of rolling the cart out and keeping the tanks here on the point. Completely opposite of what Top Ramen did against them as they were coming out here on point B. So it looks like now they're starting to come out here. They've gotten a little bit more comfortable as it looks like Short Dude here is trying to press the advantage. They must realize that Benzito is not there yet. It looks like they're sort of wrapping around and trying to sort of flank, going up to the back and trying to see if they can get to the supports or maybe get behind here. It looks like Weber here takes out Zoe because that looks like that was their main objective here. But Benzito here on the payload sort of stalling it out and not allowing them to sort of do anything. But I think eventually here, with Vesper C popping the wings out, it's going to be slow moving here for Phoenix.
I mean, when you've got such a dominant Widow player like Zoe, who's really been controlling so much of the kill feed, yeah, you kind of want to take them out first. But Draco Bolt proving that he's not here to really mess around, and he's getting some pretty nice kills in there as well. If you're Phoenix Esports right now, you're thinking, okay, how do we go in? How do we take the street space with this kind of like half dive we have? I mean, we've got the Ana Zen as far as healers, but Weber creating so much space. Short Dude also going to get a pick. I mean, they're moving in really nice. They've got all this mobility. I mean, the great part about the second phase of King's Row is the streets phase, where you've got a little bit more verticality. You can kind of jump around a little bit. You have a little more opportunity to kind of, you know, leap on your opponents, take them by surprise. Whereas a Reinhardt and a Zarya, they're not going to be able to do that. The nano boosted blade's going to come in. It looks like Short Dude going to take out one, going to take out two. He's moving down. He's looking for more. Weber there to back him up. Oh, but he gets taken down by Mr. Crit. And Weber taken out too. But the point is still capped. You know, as much as it might have been looked at as feeding, I mean, they do manage to get the point. They create enough space for their team to move forward. So, and it's a short spawn. They get to walk back and take their little walk of victory there.
Yeah, I actually say that's a pretty decent ult because you don't ever want to get stuck on point to King's Row because that's the end of you right there if you do. I think you sacrifice 2 ults, get a couple kills, get some space, and that's exactly what they did here. But a Graviton now pops right here onto the point. Looks like both Transcendences out for both teams, so no kills really by anyone, as it's just basically turned into a brawl here right onto the point as they're sort of fighting it off, and it looks like Phoenix here is getting the better end of it as the kill feed is nothing but blue, and they are moving. So they're going to get to the point here. They're not going to match the time, but my goodness here, it looks like they're going to get it here. Vesper C comes onto the point to try a crazy res and get Pandu up. My goodness, what was that? How did you let that happen? And now here comes the stall. They're trying to see if whether or not they can sort of get him down. Mr. Crit gone to that tried and true Pharah, gets 2, and now the kill feed's just lit up in nothing but red, and now it looks like Phoenix is backing up. Goodness gracious.
Wow. The more divey comp coming out of Top Ramen manages to stop the slightly divey comp coming out of Phoenix. So great job there adapting to the situation. I got to be honest, going into that fight, what I saw was Erishkickle try to go for kind of a a cheeky little diva bomb, manages to toss it up, but gets stuck on sort of this Widow outpost up top here where the that first box is around the corner. And I was like, oh man, I don't know how Phoenix capitalizes off that, but they managed to poke it around the corner by just diving in and playing a really consistent and together dive. The tanks are together, the Genji's together, Short Dude getting 2 kills, Draco Bolt finding the headshot, Short Dude gonna go in with the blade, he's looking for the Pharah, he gets the Pharah kill. You gotta love it when a Genji kills a Pharah with a blade. Like, you've got all the mobility in the world, you've got a jetpack, and then you meet a Cyber Ninja with a dash. You know what I mean? And he still gets that kill off. Weber gonna take out Benzito with a nice little boop. The Transcendence coming out from the King. Tasso Coffee gonna take out Mudkip. It looks like Phoenix Esports gonna cap this, but Mr. Crit coming out with the triple kill.
My
Draco
goodness.
Ball's gonna take it out in the end, but I don't know. This looks like all red with the respawns. We gotta see what happens. It looks like only Ereshkigal on the point with the contest. He has Diva Bomb if he needs to use it, but so far he's topped off. He's not popping it yet. This is really anybody's final point right now. This is crazy.
Look at this stall. This is nuts. Ereshkigal's been on the point forever, but Draco Bolt couldn't hit any of the shots. And oh my god, you got a nano boosted Winston here now trying to create space as they're trying to come around. Benzito is asleep, and it's just another crazy brawl here. Benzito trying to knock anybody into the hole to the left. The King actually did go down, so now the stall is real as they're trying to sort of hold off this point as best as they can. There's only 1 meter left. They've got to fall back. They've held it off. Unbelievable. Top Ramen fighting for their lives here. Short Dude trying to do anything that he can to sort of get any kills. He has to be careful he doesn't get staggered. He did. He got killed by Mr. Crit's rocket into the back. The payload is going to end up backing up a little bit with only 22 seconds left.
And they really, it seems like there's such a communication error because you've got Weber still stalling on point when nobody's there. You want to just tell him, hey, back out, we're all dead. Let's, you know, if you jump out right now, we can regroup for another fight. They don't have the same mobility we do. And he jumps in and he kind of feeds again, and his team isn't there to really protect him. Zoe in the back line taking out the King, Mudkip just easily there. Short Dude's gonna try to make this his own play. He's looking for more. He's got best for C1. He's trying to make this little team, but he can't do it. And it looks like Top Ramen is going to stabilize here despite Draco Bolt's efforts to take out Benzito. It's just coming up all Ramen. Yeah. I mean, and this, if we're talking about Ramen, this is some top Ramen. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Top Ramen.
It's
and they're going
to the brand, the number one brand of Ramen. And it looks like the King here trying to stall, but I don't think it's going to come of anything. Yeah, that's going to do it. Overtime ticks down. And my goodness, what a...
I mean, what's crazy there is Top Ramen went, okay, we're playing this comp, we're losing to their comp, what do we do? And they switch their entire, I mean, they've got Benzito on the Winston now when he looks so dominant on the Reinhardt. We kept the Zarya, we've moved to a Brigitte. I mean, it's a weird dive tank combo, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really make sense in your head, but it makes sense for the comp that they're playing, and it makes sense in the end because they managed to hold it with such a huge time gap. I mean, when you think about it, going into their last fight, Phoenix Esports had 3 minutes, and they still managed to get all those 3 minutes stolen away from them by Top Ramen because of the minor switches that they had. And it was a great comp switch.
It was a fantastic comp switch by Top Ramen. And there were times in which Short Dude got into the back line and wiped out all of Top Ramen's like sort of supports. And you just thought that, yeah, this is going to be it. They're going to finish out the point. And they were just able to sort of hold it down, and they were just unable to sort of finish it off. And I think what happened there was what happened to Top Ramen at the end of Hanamura, where they just couldn't focus fire properly, and they just couldn't take out the targets quick enough for them to finish out. But it looks like there was a crash here on the side of Phoenix Esports, so we're going to go into a little mini break here with Top Ramen up 2-0. We're going into Nepal, which is going to be our next map, but this is the map that Top Ramen has not won a map on. So this is going to be some hard stuff here for Top Ramen, but we'll be right back. It is Top Ramen up 2-0 on Phoenix Esports. When we're back, it's going to be the King of the Hill, and it's going to be Nepal. Can Phoenix rescue themselves here and get a win, or can Top Ramen here finish it out? We'll find out in 2 minutes.
always use more heroes.
We are back, and welcome to Nepal. It is the map that Top Ramen has yet to win this stage. So this is Phoenix Esports' chance. If they saw our preview show, they would have known that this is their opportunity to take advantage of Top Ramen. So let's see if they run a crazy dive here, but it looks like Benzito's going on a Reinhardt.
And I gotta say, if you're Top Ramen right now, you're feeling good, you're feeling yourself, you're already up 2. One of the maps you weren't expected to win based off what we had, and I mean, going into this map, yeah, you know, you gotta pass with it. You've got a history, but I mean, if you're going against any team right now, you feel confident against this team with what they're playing. You kind of know what to expect out of them. I think Top Ramen's feeling pretty good. I think they kind of know Pastel's always going to be on the Ana, and I think they know there might be some kind of crazy switches, but I don't think they're expecting anything that's going to take down whatever the comp they pick. And looks like they're going for the triple tank, triple DPS. I mean, well, okay, I say triple tank, triple DPS, meaning Brigitte is kind of a little bit of both. Yeah. And then they got the Pharah up above. This is a very interesting comp, very tanky comp, very heal heavy and a little bit spammy. Meanwhile, Phoenix is going to go for a more kind of standard spam with the Junkrat and the Hanzo. So I mean, it's going to go either way.
Yeah, I think this is more or less Mr. Crit playing something that he finds comfortable. And I don't blame him for it either, because it's like if you don't feel like you're going to be able to sort of succeed on a pit scan, but oh my goodness, Short Dude, Mr. Crit, as I say that, he takes down 2. Both the King and Short Dude go down, and they take advantage here already. And Zoe on the Brigitte here showing off. Like, he's not just a DPS player, I can play this sort of hybrid tank healer, and looks like Phoenix Esports running for the hills.
I mean, and really, Mr. Crit getting so much kind of enabled play there. You got Fenzito, you got Zoe, you got Pandu kind of running in. They're not really slowing down. They're walking forward. They're holding their MW. They're holding M1, holding W key, and it really just allows Mr. Crit, also with really only Alice on that team to kind of stop him, really allows him to get so much pressure on this other team. So, really great maneuvering from the side of Top Ramen. They're going to be holding the point pretty aggressively. They're going to be playing from all different sight lines. Phoenix Esports trying to find an angle through. They're just going to be sitting at the stairs for now. They're trying to look around. Pastel going to be going for shots. Mr. Crit does manage to get King, but Draco manages to get Mr. Crit. This is a pretty interesting 1v1. Mr. Crit reds. Pastel going to take down Musket. Oh, but the barrage comes in. Mr. Crit going to find Draco. Zoe going to find Erishka. And it looks like Top Ramen could be taking this, especially with the Nano Rhino. Oh, Short Dude! Huge shatter! it might be turning around for the side of Phoenix with that giant shatter, but Mr. Crit still in the air, still with the Mercy as a combo. Gonna take out 2. It's looking like Top Ramen's gonna try to turn this one around with that Reinhardt swinging around. Doesn't really have any mobility, doesn't have any verticality. And Top Ramen does manage to stabilize.
Yeah, Top Ramen manages to stabilize on the back of Mr. Crit's sort of hard, making sure he got taken out early, was rezzed, and was able to sort of take out a lot of the players from Phoenix Esports. Now, Phoenix is in trouble here with the Graviton and Benzito's Earthshatter here. They've got a lot of ults here to stall the next push here from Phoenix Esports, and Grab comes out right away here. They don't have anything but ding! 5K from Top Ramen. Mr. Crit with just rockets raining in there. 90%. Oh my goodness. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back. They've got 5% here to make it to the point. This could be a 100-0. They're rushing on. Oreshkigal comes back onto the Coalescence. They try to get him before he comes back, but now a tire takes out Zone. Oreshkigal goes down. Overtime takes down. And it looks like it's Short Dude here onto the point. Oh, Short Dude charges a ulting Zenyatta. That's not going to kill anybody. And now the kills keep coming the way of Top Ramen. I think this might be just an eventuality here. Pastel Coffee took out Mr. Crit, but might be just too little too late. Draco Bolt pulls out the Graviton. Overtime's going to tick down. That's going to do it here. I don't think the Lucio's going to make it. He definitely did. And that is a 100-0 for Top Ramen. Goodness gracious.
And Mr. Crit was just so dominant with the fire. He had no contest that entire time. I mean, Pastel really tried to get him with some of those Ana shots, but realistically, it's just not enough. When you've got such a strong Pharah like Mr. Crit, and you've got Vesper C, which is a really good, he's a really good Mercy, just kind of moving around the map, focusing on who he needs to heal, who needs a damage boost. You're not going to be able to take that out with a Soldier and an Ana. Alice really not been making much of an impact on the Soldier. I was about to say, I really think Steve McCree, he switches immediately to McCree. If your stream's sniping me right now, I don't approve of it, but it's a good pick. So, I mean, hopefully something different can happen this map. They've got the Orisa and the Roadhog, which is great on this map for the pull and yank combo. So I'm really interested to see if Phoenix can kind of this map and show them why they're so dominant on it.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting here when they both teams pull out a Pharah here on a map that really doesn't have that much verticality in the fighting arena. But you'll see both the King, though, and Draco Bolt going ham here, and down goes Mr. Crit. And that was the Phoenix Esports we were wondering we were going to see, and they've taken this right away. Look at that.
And Hoto, I think you might have switched to face cam.
Oh, did I? Oops.
Yeah.
Oh, is that?
No worries there, man.
Oh, is that on the Google? All right, so okay.
It's possible. Sure. Yep, sorry about that. Just making sure that's what I'm watching on. But yeah, I mean, Phoenix Esports gonna take their move here, holding tight on the point. The Orisa's gonna be moving forward, and the Roadhog gonna be pushing up with the Orisa, gonna try to get that combo off.
Yeah, and it looks like here Top Ramen just sort of stalling, not sort of showing what they're going to do here. I think they're just waiting to make sure that they can sort of go in as percentage builds up here. They're going from the left. And I'm not exactly sure what they're going to do here. Oh, looks like they got caught. Mr. Crit, though, takes down Alice. So there goes the hit scan here. And I think they just look a little discombobulated. I'm not exactly sure. They're a little everywhere. Vesper C gets Mr. Crit back up, but the King gets down Mudkips. The tanks are sticking together really well, but the King took out Mudkips. They're a big Earthshatter by Benzito, but an ult immediately onto the point takes out his support, and now it's going to be just a hold here for Phoenix. It almost as if they just sort of lured them in and just wanted them to come in, and that's how they ended up killing them with that ult there by the King. So
I gotta say, that was a great try from Draco with the pull, and it was also a great counter shatter from Benzito, but it was also a greater and a nade from Pastel Coffee when the tanks and a couple others that were caught in it were shattered, just kind of keeping them alive, keeping them with that damage buff, that heal buff, or sorry, damage debuff, that heal buff. I mean, just great counterplay overall from all of these teams, and it does look like Phoenix is going to still stabilize. I mean, they've been playing really well on this map. It looks like the Zarya Hog is kind of their sweet spot here, so I'm really enjoying what I've been seeing out of them so far. Mr. Crit, though, is going to get that opening pick onto the King, and he's going to take out Urshkugo as well. Alice is going to take out Pandu, though. Draco going to take out... Oh, and it looks like Phoenix is going to come back off of the back of Draco Bolt. Going to take out 3 on the side of Top Ramen. Alice managed to take out Vespercy as well, and they're going to finish this map. It's a 1-1 series on this map.
Yeah, there was just nothing Top Ramen could do. This is a map that if you can take the point initially, it is so hard to get it back that if a team plays the defense right, which is what Phoenix just did, you're just never going to come in and you're going to get 100-0. So that's exactly what happened there. But now we go to Village, and now I am expecting to see a little bit more Mr. Crit here on the Pharah because this is such a Pharah-friendly map. But it looks like Mr. Crit's going to not be on the Pharah. Instead, he's actually... Nope. As I say that, he switches, and he's going to take the duel with the King here. So it's going to be interesting. No! He switches back! Look at this!
Players love debating casters. That's probably one of their favorite things out of all. But it looks like we're gonna see kind of the similar thing going on with Phoenix Esports. They're gonna keep Pastel Coffee on this Ana. They're gonna keep Short Dude on this wow, what's his name? I play him all the time. Reinhardt. Alice on the Tracer. Ouch. Short Dude's going really deep with the charge and manages to pay off. He gets 2 with it. Alice gonna take out 2 as well. That's a really easy first fight for Phoenix Esports.
Yeah, they just got trapped.
Great push.
Yeah, they got trapped into that room, and Alice just had a field day there in the back. There was just nothing once Benzito went down. Short Dude kneeling here on the point.
Short Dude with a little bit of BM.
Yeah. But they took that relatively easily here. So let's see if there are any switches here. No, they're going to come through the front door this time. And it looks like here they're going to take the fight here on the ground. Not going to worry about getting the high ground a little bit here. But they're sort of stalling here. This is the part where Top Ramen has to sort of figure out what they want to do as a team. Do they come in as a giant death ball and just go for it, or do they just sort of stall up? Because holding at the choke is not really what you want to do. But it looks like Benzito just immediately got charged by Short Dude here. Gets taken out of the blue, takes out of the play, and losing a main tank is big. Even though they do lose Lareshkigal to Zoe, I think they're just going to sort of fall back here and wait for Benzito to come back.
And what's crazy about that was Short Dude was just sitting waiting in one of the cabins that entire time. He gets a big shatter. He's just going to go ham, even though Mr. Crit managed to take him down. His team's there to follow up. What's crazy, though, Short Dude was waiting just in one of these little cabins right here. Zoe actually manages to see him with the high ground he got on the right side of him. I don't know if he didn't tell his team or if his team didn't take it seriously, but it seemed like Benzito just was sort of like, whatever, and just kind of walked in. Short Dude managed to get the long charge on him. Even with the Zarya bubble coming out from Pandu, it's not enough with how lengthy it was, and he still gets taken down. It didn't seem like there was a lot of good communication with that play, but Short Dude really just his inner Benzito is coming alive. We saw Benzito look so aggressive in these first 2 maps, but now it's Short Dude really making the most of this Reinhardt play here.
Yeah, and you can see here that the issues that they do have on Nepal here. They are 0-2 on Nepal here, and I'm wondering if it's because they get into these situations where they sort of fall behind on a map and are just unable to re-engage. The King here with a big ult here, trying to sort of finish off Benzito. He absolutely does. They're really just trying to contest at this point to sort of stall it out. Graviton comes out, catches Vespercy. That's going to do it. I don't think anybody's going to be able to come back. Overtime ticks down. I don't think anybody's going to make it, and that is it. Phoenix actually capture 100-0 back-to-back, and they win Nepal 2-1.
And this was a map we expected Phoenix to win based on what we saw. Okay, this is going to be sent back. A little unsure there. But yeah, I mean, really dominant performance from Phoenix Esports. I mean, something that I personally thought was so great is the fact that Alice and the King played so well off of each other. I think the 2 DPS kind of supporting each other, the King getting off so much initial damage, and then Alice really just following up on everything. I'm sure there was a lot of really great communication there. Yeah, I mean, it didn't really look like Top Ramen stood a chance. I don't know necessarily about this McCree-Hanzo DPS duo. I don't know how much the Hanzo really does against a comp like this. I think, honestly, against this kind of thing, you almost maybe want to just go full dive or match the comp, especially when we've seen players on Top Ramen looking, Zoe has been really good with the snipers most of the time or the head scan, but Mr. Crit does so well on the Pharah. You almost think they want to kind of mirror this comp, but Either way, I mean, we've got a closer series now. Phoenix really could take this back. We still could go to a map 5, depending on what we see from our next map.
Yeah, but if we go back here to the tail of the tape here, as Gibraltar is going to be our next map, you see that Top Ramen are undefeated here on Gibraltar. They are 2-0, whereas Phoenix has not really had the chance to sort of play this map. So like they're 0-1, but that just tells me that they've just never had this in the rotation really, and so it's going to be really hard for them for them to maybe do it. So maybe they've practiced it. They knew this was coming up here today, so maybe they had a couple scrims, practice it a little bit, but Top Ramen are definitely going to be ready for Gibraltar as we go into our final map here. Though, if Phoenix are able to pull it off, we will be going to Lijiang Tower, and with Top Ramen's bad record on King of the Hill, it might be what Phoenix could do, and they could reverse sweep this. So this game is really, really huge standings-wise because Top Ramen both Phoenix and Top Ramen need the wins here. So it's absolutely imperative that Top Ramen close this out, and imperative for Phoenix here to get the win in Gibraltar to take this all the way to Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, and realistically, both these teams coming into this, they really wanted a dominant 4-0 or at least maybe a 3-1, depending on what their counterparts that are also 2-3 were getting. But I mean, now it's really neck and neck. Look, does Top Ramen want this enough to just go ham and finish off this last map strong? Or is Phoenix going to, again, I'm so sorry for anybody who's been listening to this, but do they want to rise from the ashes? Do they want to take this back? Do they want to claim it as their own? I mean, it's anybody, it's the destiny in anybody's hands right now. So I'm really interested in seeing what happens right now.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting here, but it will be Phoenix here. Actually, no, excuse me. It looks like they've switched teams, so let me fix my overlays here. It will be Top Ramen here on offense first, and it will be Phoenix on defense. So I think a little bit of an advantage there for Phoenix, because Phoenix will know what they need to do here on Gibraltar to figure out like what they're going to have to match up with in order to win this. So, but it looks like Fenzito going out with the Winston here. So we only saw Fenzito pick the Winston at the end of King's Row here to stall. But I'm seeing a dive comp from Top Ramen. Is that what you see?
I am seeing that, and honestly, on a map like Gibraltar, I think this is the move. As dominant as Fenzito has looked on characters like Reinhardt and even on Orisa a little bit, I mean, this is the map where you really want to pull out the verticality. You've got, I mean, point A, point B, and point C. It's just so good to have that scouting, that dive ability where Widow even looks so good. Zoe obviously going to bring out the Widow again. He's looked so insane on that. I think this is kind of the miracle comp here for Top Ramen. I think this is what they're going to want to keep to close this one out strong. Meanwhile, Phoenix Esports also looking pretty interesting with their standard kind of comp. It seems like this is what they're more comfortable with. Obviously keeping Niana again, Pastel Coffee, not switching off any 4 maps. He says, why switch? I'm the best on in the game. Who needs to switch? Short dude going to be going back to the Genji. We saw him on King's Row with that. He looked very strong. Alice switching over to the Hanzo. We saw a little bit of that before. Ershkegel back on the off tank. We've seen him be a little flexible, as well as the King and Draco Bolt. So I'm really interested to see how these comps collide. I will say that.
So it looks like here Zoe's coming out from the flanks on the left here, not immediately coming out with the rest of the team here. Is looking for a pick and doesn't get anything there initially. Oh, short dude gets Vespercy. That's going to be big. And it looks like here they're getting chased out and they're being aggressive here. I like the way that Phoenix is playing this, but Zoe takes out the short dude, so short dude unable to get into the back lines and do any more damage here. But now it looks like Phoenix is basically set up on the payload here, and they're going to play this super aggressively. Very unusual to see a team sort of be this aggressive here on Gibraltar. A lot of teams sort of set up back further, but not in this particular case.
Yeah, I really think if you're Phoenix right now, you're kind of feeling the groove. You've been feeling how you've been doing, and you really don't want to back off, even though, like, I mean, realistically, Top Ramen is taking kind of the better picks, even though Ershkegel is going to take out Zoe in the end. I mean, they're getting so much out of this, and they have the respawn advantage, and now they're under that kind of tunnel point. But the thing is, the dive tanks are in there under the tunnel point. They're not playing high ground, so Phoenix has a shot to just kind of clean up here. I mean, realistically, where are you going to jump to when you're underneath a bridge?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you just got a Reinhardt swinging like crazy. He's already at his full shatter right now. Air's Kegel halfway to point, or halfway to Diva Bomb. Sorry, the King already at his Zen ult. They've already got 4 ults on the side of Phoenix Esports. You gotta be feeling good about that. Meanwhile, on the side of Top Ramen, they really don't have much. The Pharah is coming out from Mr. Crit, which he has looked so good on. But again, they're underneath that bridge. I don't know how much it's going to do. But as I say that, Pastel Coffee does get taken out a little bit in the back line. Not sure what's happening there. I think they capitalize on the fact that they're not seeing a lot of hit scan, even though Alice is on the Widow. Sorry, Air's Kiggle and the King both low, and they're both going to be taken out. Wow. And Top Ramen not going to be wasting any time in here. Zoe with a double headshot. Mr. Crit taking out the rest. They're going to be pushing forward. Aggressive as hell. They're not going to take any time to relax.
Mudkip's there with a fantastic transcendence. He tranced right after the Earthshatter came in and just rescued the rest of his team from being from a possible disaster. And now everybody got short spawned here from Phoenix Esports. This is not good at all. Everybody's trapped in the bottom. Pandu takes out Pastel Coffee. That payload is just going to move here as they're going to get reset here. Everybody's just a little bit everywhere. The King is by himself on that Zen. He's going to get sort of dived on, and now the kill's just going the way of Top Ramen as they're sort of rotating around here. This defense is just falling apart for Phoenix. Not good at all. Fenzito takes out Dracobolt. They're falling back to the point here. Are they going to be able to contest? It looks like Mr. Crit here is holding a position that's really far up and just sort of making sure that the doors aren't affected. Oh goodness, it looks like a Diva Bomb comes in, takes out both Mr. Crit and Fenzito! No! And that's going to be that for the push, I think.
The Diva Bomb is huge. The Ana play is huge. Not only did Ana manage to nano boost short dude with the blade, not really getting anything there, but doing enough damage to try to kind of bait out some ults, see what he can do. But I mean, the nade is such a huge ability, probably one of the best abilities in the game, and Pastel Coffee's aim is so good that he managed to take out a couple of himself. And that's going to be huge stabilization with the Diva Bomb and the Ana play in general. I think, honestly, without the nano boost, it might not have been such a big play. Pastel Coffee already back to half of the nano boost just by healing up these big old tanks. You know, you got the Diva and the Reinhardt, some stick heroes there, if you will. Dracobolt with the Rhine Shatter. The Wiz is going to kind of just jump in with the Diva. Oh, it's going to be a huge ult from Mr. Crit, but Short Dude's going to take out just as much and gets the reflect onto Mr. Crit. Oh my god, it's back and forth right now, but it looks like Phoenix Esports has the upper hand. But as I say that, Pandu takes out 2. Short Dude's going to try to clutch this with the blade. He's doing well so far. He's just holding on to the point. He can't get up to the Mr. Crit. He doesn't have the spot. But Dragobait manages to take him out. He dips a little too low, unfortunately, there, Mr. Crit. And it is going to be a stabilization from Phoenix Esports. That's absolutely crazy. What a great hold there from the 2 melee-ish heroes.
Yeah, that was pretty insane there. Decent hold there by Phoenix, but they're going to be running into about 4 ults here as both Pandu and Fenzito are going to come up live, and Zoe and Vespersy have their ult. Vespersy got taken out there right before she was able to sort of come out, so they're going to have to stall this just a little bit here. But watch Top Ramen. It's going to be a little bit of an ult fiesta coming out here from Top Ramen as they're going to try to dive on to the Phoenix Esports. So it looks like here they're just setting up, making sure they don't get a little too aggressive. Not exactly sure what's going to happen. Diva Bomb comes in to just sort of engage, and they get both supports! Oh my god, that is perfect! That is what they were looking for, and now it has just gone all wrong here for Phoenix Esports. The Transcendence comes out just to make sure they get the point. They really didn't need it, I think, but that's going to get their point. Now they have 2:46 here on the clock. That was all they were looking for, and they still have the wings from Vespersy and Fenzito. The King gets picked out here on a short spawn, and now Phoenix Esports have all it to do. 2:30 here left on the clock as they sort of push in, but they're going to defend here up high around the corner, and that's probably where they want to sort of make their last stand.
And Pandu found such a cheeky angle up there above the hangar, like just kind of gliding it in, managed to take out 2. It was absolutely nuts. Even though I saw Draco try to reposition his shield there, there's really nothing you can do when your players are all in different positions. And the team was there to follow up. It's going to be kind of neck and neck here, but Fenzito mad low. He's going to try to back off, doesn't want to use his Primal Rage just yet. Everybody actually on Top Ramen kind of low. They're going to back up. Draco manages to take out the Diva and the baby Diva. They're going to be pushing up a little bit, trying to really capitalize on this fight. They don't want to give any little stepping space to Top Ramen here, which is very smart considering the plays that they've had throughout this series. So they're going to be pushing right up to the spawn doors. Fenzito going to be actually diving in with the Primal. He is saying, I don't need a Diva, but he's just going to probably be looking to bait out King's ult, which he does. He's going to kind of hop out after that. Really not much to play after that. You've traded 1 for 1, and I mean, considerably. It's such a huge ult, the Transcendence, and against an ult like a Winston ult, which is mostly used for stalling and all that, it's inconsequential. But Mr. Crit manages to take out Alice. We see Zoe in the back, also looking for shots. They've got the double hit scan right now. They're kind of just looking to peek and chip away. I think Phoenix Esports kind of senses this. They kind of back around the corner. Very smart play from them. They've got 5 ults ready. Hopefully they're not going to make too many dumb decisions out of that. Looks like a charge from Fenzito. Oh, and Draco Bait! He goes for a nutty shatter, but he misses it because Fenzito managed to pick up his shield in time.
Yeah, Fenzito does look like switching over to the Reinhardt here. So he went off the Winston, but gets taken out. But you're right. They're just sort of conserving their ult here on Phoenix, and it looks like they've stopped this push, and they're just waiting now with 30 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, and I mean, with the switch onto the Reinhardt, we know that Fenzito is the most comfortable with Reinhardt from what we've seen. And, I mean, that play just shows it. He goes in for kind of a backwards charge. He goes all the way around. He wraps around the corner, and then he charges toward his team. He doesn't manage to get a body, but he manages, as soon as he stops the charge, to lift his shield back up, block that shatter. Just shows kind of great discipline from him on that Reinhardt. We're getting into the last team fight. Mr. Crit does manage to take down Short Dude early. This could be big for them. Looks like the Trance is coming out. The Nano Boost is coming out. There's a lot of healing on the side of Phoenix Esports. Oh, but Mr. Crit with the double. But he is going to be hit with that. But oh, my God. But Top Ramen just manages to clean up the fight. Great team play. Short Dude's going to try to be a hero here. I don't know how much he expected from that. Against the full team, there was no kills even on the side of it. Might have been better even to wait for a little bit of healing, but he's going to be taken out. Zoe going to be taking out Alice early. It looks like the stagger kills are going to be coming in. Eshkagul going to be taking out early in the Diva. And Top Ramen really just cleaning up. So with the double pulse kill, sort of just a, hey, I'm here, deal with it. We're winning this point, no matter what you say. And that is going to be the full 3 points capped by Top Ramen. They don't have any more minutes or seconds on the map, but I mean, when you cap all 3, how much do you need? You know what I mean? At least you got a fighting chance there.
Yeah, they do have a fighting chance, and that was such a great final push there by Top Ramen. Big kudos there to Mr. Crit with that big ult. The High Noon takes out 2 to just sort of start that push, and they just were able to snowball it down there. Short Dude there, I think you're right. I think he could have saved. He could have hit a little bit and waited for them to get back onto the point and use that sort of Genji blade as they were trying to stall there at the end. I think maybe he panicked a little bit. He saw sort of like overtime start to tick down, and he thought maybe this could be the place where I could be a hero. But instead, maybe, trying to conserve the ult and saving it for the end there might have been the better decision. They'll probably take a look at the VOD and talk to their coaches to decide, what was the right play there. But in the end, it is Top Ramen that does take all 3 points. They are 2-0 on this map, so they do know what they're doing here. So it's going to be up to Phoenix to see what they can do. Like they've only played this map once in all of Stage 1, as they've played Junkertown most of the time. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of sort of comp they come out with, because normally on Junkertown you run that pirate ship, you incorporate a Bastion a little bit on your initial push. You don't ever see that really on on Gibraltar, really. So, but it looks like they're going to go dive, and I see a Doomfist. Ooh, this makes me excited.
Oh, Doomfist coming out. Pastel going to be switching back to that Ana he's been so comfortable with. Alice on the Torbjorn right now. I don't know if that's a meme pick or not. I'm guessing so, because the Bastion comes out from Pastel. Probably just trolling the caches a little bit. I can understand it, guys. Yeah, we're going to see some comfortable picks switching in. It looks like it's going to be almost full dive. Instead of the Mercy, we're going to get the Ana off of Pastel Coffee. So definitely playing to the map's advantage. Like you were saying, Junkertown really not kind of the best place for dive comps all the time. Usually a lot of teams run that sort of either Reinhardt or Orisa kind of heavy compositions. Mr. Crit going to be on the Bastion though, and he's already 50% of his ultimate. He's just going to be blasting down at the team underneath the bridge. They really don't know, seems like they don't know how to really dive onto this team right here, even though they've got the full dive. Going to be a nice sleep there and a nice nade on the Reinhardt. Short Dude's going to be playing very aggressive. A little too aggressive. He gets taken out early. Air's Kickle going to try to follow up on that, but he kind of, goes in a little too aggressive too. I think they just need to reset here, kind of assess, okay, how do we dive this as a full team? How do we take care of this Bastion that's doing so much damage? How do we kind of, arrange our sightlines so that he can't take out all of us at once? Because the great thing about Bastion is, despite how much damage he does, he has such a low mobility. If they can kind of surround him, they can take him out pretty easily, assuming he doesn't have that much peel for him.
Yeah, the problem that Phoenix now has is how many resources do they commit to taking out this Bastion? Because if you overcommit in taking out the Bastion, the rest of the team gets you. But if you don't, the Bastion will then counter and get you also. Mr. Crit's been doing a great job sort of hopping around, not being stationary, which you see a lot of Bastion players have a tendency to do. The key here is just for you to keep moving around and keep guessing where that Bastion's going to end up being, because if you play the guessing game and you guess wrong as Phoenix, you're going to end up the end of a rotator gun here of the Bastion, and you're going to have to start all over again. But if you actually really notice is the enemy here is the clock. They've already burned about 2 minutes here trying to figure out how to dive on Mr. Crit. And now it looks like they're just full committing here right now. They're going to expect the Genji Blade, and that's going to do it. They Nano Blade Short Dude, and he's just going ham. Takes out 3. High Noon here. Oh, Zoe gets the king, but doesn't get anybody else. And now the push comes through. But I think they're going to have a chance here for a contest here on point A.
And that was such a beautiful, essential dive from Phoenix Esports. They had Draco, they had Airskill, they had Short Dude. They all jumped in at the same time, and then they committed the blade to it after that. They had the initial jump in, they all used their cooldowns together. Mr. Crit still on the dash, and he's actually going to take out Draco. And there's going to be a huge shatter coming in. Fenzino managed to take it away. I mean, this is a great stabilization here from Top Ramen, but like I was saying, Phoenix Esports, I mean, they managed to dive perfectly. If they can get away with more clean dives like that, and they can really take care of, even if it's not the Bastion, even if it's just one of the essential players on Top Ramen early, and they can get away with it without taking too much damage away from them. I mean, you get that clean pick early. That's the nice thing about dive. You pick a target, you jump on it, maybe you Zen Orbit, and you go, I want this dead. Okay, it's dead? Great. Now we play. 5v6.
Yeah,
so hopefully we're going to see that again out of Phoenix.
Yeah, Mr. Kips there, Mudkip, was the big hero there because he transcended right directly onto Mr. Crit and was just basically allowed Mr. Crit to do what he needed to do for that hold. There was just nothing that Phoenix can do, and now they're actually transcending onto the point here, and they're going to try to commit a Diva Bomb to take him out. They end up getting best perceived, but it looks like a Graviton here right onto the point, unable to sort of get anyone. But Zoe goes huge. That was so big. Takes out Draco Bolt and the King. There's 19 seconds here left on the clock. Short Dude has left the game. Oh no, they're going they've gone 5. Vespercy asking for a pause here for the other side. 10 seconds here left to go. I don't think they're going to get it here as there's 5 seconds left. Rage, I don't know if that was a Rage quit or not. They jump onto the point. The Hanzo, it looks like there was a PC crash. They can't pause it now because we're in the middle of an engage. Unfortunately, bad luck here for Phoenix Esports. Ereshigal gets T-Max. And there's a Nano Boost that comes out. Finally, the pause comes through as, oh my goodness, it looks like the PC crash. The pause comes through. I don't think the pause can do, you can't do it in the middle of a fight. As Alexandria just saw, just let, Alice says, like, they continue. You can't sort of do it in the middle of a fight, so it looks like now.
I mean, generally speaking, if you see a player DC like that, you want to pause as quickly as possible, even if it's in the middle of a fight. Looks like Alexandria was away. Things happen like that. Honestly, with less than 10 seconds left, it probably wouldn't have made too much of a difference. It probably would have been a little bit more stall. But really, I mean, Top Ramen wasn't losing any players during that entire engage. There's not a lot you can do at that point, and Top Ramen just really showing a lot of dominance throughout this entire series. Phoenix Esports managing to pick up the one map on a map that we kind of expected them to look really good on, but it didn't seem like this map they were completely prepared. Watching Airskill with a double kill. Some really great play there, managing to take out both supports based off of those Ana nades. Does a lot of good job with the pressure, but I mean, overall, Top Ramen, what do you do against this team?
Yeah, I know. That was really, really hard. They had looked like they set up a specific defense here for Phoenix on Gibraltar. It's very rare to see a Bastion defense on Gibraltar the way that Top Ramen sort of set up. And I think it really surprised Phoenix. And the way that Mr. Crit was playing it by hopping around, making sure that he wasn't in a single position, made it very, very hard for Phoenix to sort of decide where they needed to dive and how they needed to get in, because the angles would change and they would
Mm.
position for one dive, then they would position for another, and then he wasn't there anymore. So it was
And
like,
what
yeah, so it made it super impossible for them to sort of predict. And then when he finally came out in the open, that was when they finally got him. But the payload had backed up all the way to the point where Top Ramen had basically earned themselves another defense on point A. So
and what I loved about that Bastion play also was it reminded me a lot of Widow play without necessarily the grapple hook or the verticality or the movement abilities. I mean, he fired some shots and then he kind of repositioned himself. He was never predictable. He never left himself open to going, okay, so and so is here. I'm gonna peek for this shot and I'm gonna go for the or I'm gonna dive on here. I mean, he was really good at moving around. He knows he has that burst, but he knows he doesn't have a lot of mobility, so he stays unpredictable. And I think that really was the secret to that first point hold there. He was
mhm.
just so uncounterable because every time the tanks were like, okay, we want to dive in, it didn't look like they were scouting enough. They didn't really have that tracer looking for, hey, this is where you want to dive. So they kind of didn't know where to go in a lot of the time. So, I mean, kudos there to Top Ramen. It seemed like they're very comfortable in the maps that they did win. And even the map that they lost, it just seemed like Phoenix was a little more comfortable on that map. It didn't seem like they were too out of their element. It seemed like they just had some stuff to work on. So,
Yeah,
all in all, a really great series.
yeah, overall a great series, very even series. Yeah, Phoenix could have taken Hanamura, and we would have been going to a map 5 here, because just slightly off on their attack there on Hanamura and not able to get enough percentage against Top Ramen, and that probably in the end was probably the big thing that decided this game as we saw the overall match records. But that's gonna do it for us. Any final thoughts here, Guppy, on this match?
On this match, all I can say is I was really hoping to see Phoenix, wait for it, rise from the ashes. Uh, they they did not end up pulling through. I mean, they did a great job there on Nepal, but the rest of the ways, I don't think they played poorly specifically. I think just Top Ramen was so ready specifically for their comp and for their team that it just looked very dominant on the side of Top Ramen. So, I mean, I'm a little biased because I casted this match, but I would love to see Top Ramen be able to make it to the Stage 1 playoffs. If not, I think both of these teams have a lot of potential going into the next stage. Hopefully they can take away some of what they learned specifically from this match or matches that have been casted before. They can kind of see what happened, discuss their team comps on certain maps. I think the dive on this last map on Gibraltar was really important. Hopefully, these guys kind of understand that. I mean, Top Ramen with the bash. I'm not going to tell you to go dive on that if you played so well, but I don't know. All I can say is both phenomenal teams. Top Ramen obviously getting the best in the end, but both teams, I think, for end season have very high expectations to meet in my book.
Yeah, yeah, that high expectations in Top Ramen getting an important win. They needed this win after dropping to Rise and Shine here on Sunday, but that's going to do it for us. It is a win for Top Ramen, 3-1 over the Phoenix Esports. Pay attention, on the main channel on Friday, we will have our special match with all of the new recruits coming into OWLET. So in between stages, teams are allowed to sign new players as teams try to sort of improve and fill out their roster. We're going to have a special presentation of that game on Friday on the main OWLET channel, and a special show hosted by me and Razarip and all of the admins and some coaches. We're going to go through stage 1. I have a whole bunch of analysis for you for everyone to take a look at, so pay attention. That'll be coming up around 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern time on Friday on the main OWLET channel. But that's going to do it for us here. It is a victory for Top Ramen, 3-1 over Phoenix Esports. For Guppy, for Alexandra, for myself, thank you for joining us today, and hope you have a happy 4th of July. Everybody enjoy your holiday, watch some fireworks, and thank you for joining us today. We will see you next time.
Take care, guys.